And the idea that people won't like us, people will think what we're saying is stupid, or we don't look great, or any of these kind of different things. And I think the thing is, you just need to get on and do it. And you need to understand, again, that you're not going to attract everybody. It's like we were talking about earlier. You want to be yourself, and you're going to attract people who are going to be somewhat similar to you, who are like you. And those are the people that you want to attract. You don't want to attract everybody. And if you're attracting those right people and you're being yourself, you're being authentic, then you're going to attract the right crowd. And it's like, in terms of rejection, we do it all the time. We decide, I'm not going to follow that person, or I'm going to unfollow them, or I'm not going to reply to that text right now, or I'm going to, unsubscribe from this email list. And we're not feeling like we hate this person, or that this person, any particularly negative feelings necessarily towards that person. It's just, at this point in time, I've got too many emails on that I'm subscribed to, so I'm going to unsubscribe for the ones that I don't follow very often, or I've got too many people on my friends list and I don't really keep in touch with you a lot, so I'm just going to unfriend you. And it's nothing that's very sinister. It's not a personal rejection. It's just something that we do just to keep our lives in control and balanced and that kind of thing. And for other people, if they are unfollowing you or whatever it might be that you're afraid of, then just remember that it's almost certainly not a personal thing, and it's something that is just it's not a right fit. And if they're not the right fit for you, then let them go, and then attract the people that are the right fit. And I think that can help a lot in terms of just feeling more confident in being yourself and attracting the right people to you, and focusing on your client, focusing on the people that you're talking to. Like right now, I don't know who is going to be watching this, but I know that there's going to be some interest on being on camera and doing videos. And if I am so focused on myself and worried about all the mistakes I've made in this life and all of that kind of thing, I can get all wrapped up in my own head and not think about how can I best be serving you guys? How can I best give you the tips and strategies that you need?
And she said also in the comment right now, she said, I have learned that is true. Not everyone is for you.
That's right. Absolutely. And I think just being comfortable with that, just being, okay, they can go to someone else is there and available to serve them, and you'll attract the right people to you. And you don't want to work with the people who aren't good for you, because that's just going to be a headache.
Absolutely. And then what was, just to know you more, Demesa, what's the moment where you had the worst moment in camera? Like, did it happen to you? And how did you overcome that moment? Do you sometimes go for an online course and it's really not the day? And anyway, you have something to produce. How do you overcome that moment where you feel like today earlier, I listened to a broadcast here on Hubs, and he had that moment where he wasn't able to come live. It was more like he can't do it because something happened in his life. And what makes you keep going? So if you had an experience that was on screen that you had to overcome to keep going and keep producing, how did it happen, and how did you overcome that experience?
Well, nothing comes to mind specifically while I've been on screen. Most of what I do is pre-produced, particularly because of my health situation. It tends to be a little bit variable, and I prefer pre-produced videos to live videos. It's just more of a comfort thing for me. Again, probably being more introverted. I did get some hate comments, some criticism and that kind of thing from some posts that I was posting at one time. And I remember struggling with other areas in my life at the time and just feeling like I can't do this. If people are going to criticize me and put me down when I'm trying to help and offer value, how can I don't have the toughness to handle that. And I can understand why some people would struggle with that aspect. And there are going to be haters and people who just, tear people down for whatever reason. I don't know why people do that. But again, I think it goes back to remembering who it is that you are there to serve, and as far as these other people that are tearing you down, to remember that they're probably coming from a bad place themselves, and it's not a personal thing about you, it's more about them. And for me at the time, I was like, I can't go on camera, I can't do anything, I don't want to be visible, I just want to hide, I want to turn everything off, I want to shut down my business. So it wasn't a specific camera thing, but it certainly made me less likely to want to be putting myself out there. But I think, once you've got to have a strong why, you got to know why you're doing it and who you're serving, and remembering that what you have to offer somebody, the value that you can share, whether it's in a course or just a Facebook Live or on here, then remember that the value that you are offering to people and giving to people, even if just one person benefits from that, you're making a difference. And on this kind of platform, you can be making a difference in hundreds of thousands of different people's lives. And remembering that can help you to just put aside those hateful comments that people might make, and those feelings of insecurity or imposter syndrome or any of those other things that can kind of take over and make us feel less than and not capable of moving forward.
It's beautiful. And when it comes to hubs, because on hubs it's usually live, so it's not pre-recorded, what would be your advice? And by the way, Beth said mental toughness, it is not easy. So that's the comment that's posted. So my question is, since on hubs, most of the people on hub podcasting are coming live, because it's not usually, I do pre-record it, but most of the time it's live. And I prefer that because they could come and ask and post comment like Betty's doing it, Beth and Shabazz. So the point is, what would be the best advice if you feel the same way you felt at that moment with those comments? How to overcome it and still come live and talk to people on screen, live, knowing that people could be, because we have trolls also on hubs. I'm lucky I haven't had much, but sometimes you have trolls. And how to overcome that. To give you a small example, the other day I was live. A guy, I don't remember his name, hopped on and posted something really not nice. What I told him without, I just holded my conversation and I just said, I don't remember his name. I called him on his name and I said, thank you for being here. And if you want to shine bright in the badness of yours, feel free to shine bright. Who am I to not let you shine bright? But I know it's not something that everyone could handle and get back to where you were and keep the conversation going, because I was talking about Clubhouse, which I love, and I was describing what's the update and everything. So I just hold it there. Also him saying, you want to shine bright the way you are. He left, by the way. And then I get back to what I was talking about. I know it's not easy to handle that, but like based on what you experience, what would be the best way to keep you coming back on screen and keep doing what you are doing?
I think if something comes up at the time and you see that kind of comment, I think how you handled it is a good way. But also, I mean, I'm not familiar with this platform specifically, but I would potentially just ignore it, because the more you interact, the more they're likely to you're feeding that. Yeah. So there's that aspect. So you could do it either way. But in terms of actually, carrying on, finishing your live and then coming back to do it again, I would definitely understand how it feels to have that kind of thing come up and then feel like you can't go forward, because that's how I felt with this comment that came, these several comments that I got. And it comes back to your why are you doing it, and who are you serving? So you got to have a strong why. If those kind of comments are going to be hurtful to you and be a struggle to you, your why has got to be stronger. So think about your purpose and what it is that you're sharing. Again, think about the people that you're helping as a result of what you're sharing. Yes, one person, two people, or whatever might mock you or tear you down or criticize you, but how many more people are going to benefit from what you're saying? And focus on the positive side of things rather than negative. And I know the tendency is we tend to focus on the negative, that we could have 100 great comments, but we get one or two negative comments. We're going to focus on the negative one or two. So we just need to reshift our mindset to think